Okay, welcome everybody, and welcome to this Reflect and Connect session. I'm going to do a little introduction to what we're going to be covering today. And each week we're covering one of the 12, each month, sorry, we're covering one of the 12 ways to love yourself, which are Louise Hay's 12 ways to love yourself. And this month we're looking at be kind to your mind. So just a little outline of the session. I'm going to cover one of the 12 ways to love yourself. We'll do a little reflective meditation, which is always lovely to ground ourselves in the moment. And then I'll take you through some reflection questions. So if you've got a notepad and pen to hand, that would be really handy. And we'll do a little bit of journaling with that. And then I'll come back into the Zoom room afterwards, and we can share the next up and coming session and what else is happening, what other workshops are happening. So who am I? I'm Alison Bell. I'm a Heal Your Life trained workshop leader and life coach, trained and certified in the teachings of Louise Hay. And Louise Hay is a pioneer in the personal growth space and created a global certification program so others like me could share her valuable and powerful work. So I've created these sessions because I think it's a great introduction to Louise Hay's work. They're an opportunity for us to come together for 25-30 minutes, for you to take some time, slow down, reflect, and bring some awareness to underlying limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns you might have. They're really designed to help us connect with our heart, our truth, and our inner wisdom. They're a gentle opportunity for ongoing self-discovery and personal growth. And by exploring one of these each month, it gives us the time to dive in more deeply on each one. And then with that new awareness, gently integrate that into our ongoing daily lives. And what I found with this work is this helps to build the consistency and momentum that's really needed for sustained transformation and for that to build that momentum on each month. So we can cultivate that positive change that we want to experience in our lives because we're practicing it more frequently. So, like I say, the fifth way to love yourself is to be kind to your mind. And our minds can sometimes be our greatest allies, or actually they can also be our harshest critics as well. And it's up to us to decide how we relate to our thoughts. And just like we would treat a really good friend with compassion and understanding, it's a really good practice to learn to be kind to our own minds. And today we'll be focused on cultivating a positive, inner, loving dialogue with ourselves. So we begin by recognizing the power of our thoughts and how they shape our experience. And when we choose to be kind to ourselves in our thinking, we take action from that grounded place and we create a foundation of self-love to flourish. And Louise Hay says, be kind to your mind. Self-hatred is only hating your own thoughts. So don't hate yourself for having thoughts, just gently change the thoughts. So I'm going to take you through just a gentle guided reflection. So just take a moment to settle, take a couple of deep breaths, feel your feet on the floor, and get into a comfortable position. Allow your hands to rest gently in your lap. And if it feels comfortable, softly close your eyes. Take another slow, deep breath in. And gently breathe out. Again, breathing in peace and breathing out any tension or busyness or craziness that you may have brought into this space. And just allow your breath to find its own natural rhythm and simply be here. Let your belly relax. Let your shoulders soften. And just be here now. And now imagine you are walking towards a beautiful, peaceful sanctuary. a place created just for you. It may be a quiet garden, a cozy cottage, a forest clearing, or somewhere entirely unique to your imagination. As you enter this sanctuary, you sense the groundedness of this space and a comforting sense of calm. You feel safe and completely at ease. In the centre of this peaceful place is a comfortable chair, and you gently sit down. And in front of you appears a large, clear screen. This screen represents your mind. As you watch, thoughts begin to drift across the screen like clouds moving through the sky. Some thoughts are light and uplifting. Others may feel critical or worrying or demanding. You simply observe them. No need to chase them and no need to judge them. Just notice them passing by. Now gently ask yourself, if my mind had a voice that spoke to me every day, what would it be saying? Just pause and listen. Notice the words that arise. Perhaps you hear encouragement, or perhaps you notice self-doubt, pressure, comparison, or criticism. Whatever appears, simply witness it with curiosity and compassion. Now imagine that sitting beside you is someone who loves you unconditionally. Perhaps it is your future self, a wise guide, or simply the energy of pure love. This loving presence gently turns to you and asks, would you speak to someone you deeply loved in the same way your mind sometimes speaks to you? Allow yourself just to reflect. And now this loving presence smiles warmly and says, your mind has been trying to protect you. It has learned habits over many years. But today you can begin to teach it a new language. Imagine now that every unkind thought on the screen gently dissolves into tiny particles of light. And in its place, new thoughts begin to appear. Words that encourage, support, comfort, and inspire. You see messages such as, you are doing so well. You are learning and growing every day. You are worthy exactly as you are. You can trust yourself. You deserve kindness. And you're doing the best you can. And that's enough. As each loving thought appears, notice your body relaxing. Your breathing becoming easier. Your heart opening a little more. Now imagine placing one hand over your heart and one over your forehead, creating a gentle connection between your heart and your mind. Feel the warmth flowing between them, as if your heart is teaching your mind a new way to speak. Silently repeat to yourself, My mind is my friend. I choose thoughts that nourish and support me. I release criticism and welcome compassion. I am patient with myself as I learn and grow. And every loving thought I choose creates a more peaceful life. Take a slow, deep breath in. And as you breathe out, imagine filling every corner of your mind with soft golden light. A light of kindness, understanding, and unconditional love. Know that you can return to this sanctuary whenever you need to. Whenever your mind feels busy or overwhelmed. Whenever you need reminding that you have the power to choose the thoughts that uplift you rather than diminish you. Take one final deep breath and gently bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes, and when you're ready, slowly and gently open your eyes. Carrying with you this simple intention. Today and every day, I choose to be kind to my mind. Now take a couple of deep breaths and have a good stretch. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Now with your notepad and pen, take a few moments to make a note of what came up for you in that awareness exercise. Any new awareness or any affirmations that really resonated with you, just make a note of them. And here are a few questions that you can reflect on. So write down what you currently do to keep your mind healthy. And what else could you do? How do you speak to yourself in your mind when you make a mistake? And what kinds of thoughts do you want to welcome more often? And how can you respond to negative self-talk with more kindness? So just write what initially comes to you. And if you want to write anything in the chat, please feel free to share anything that you would like. And if you're watching this on replay and have a realization or a light bulb moment that you'd like to share, I'd love to hear it. So please pop it in the comments. So write down what you currently do to keep your mind healthy and what else could you do? How do you speak to yourself in your mind when you make a mistake? And what kind of thoughts do you want to welcome more often? And lastly, how can you respond to negative self-talk with more kindness? And don't worry if you don't get to answer all of the questions now, as you can also pause the video and watch it on replay. So next we have the power of affirmations. And if you haven't written any down yet, take a read of these and see if any of them resonate with you. If they feel good or if they feel like they could give you room for possibility, that's a good sign. You're planting new seeds in the garden of your mind, which you will nurture over time until they grow and feel true for you. So there's just a few here. And feel free, if you would like, to just close your eyes while I read these out. And you can repeat them silently in your mind, or feel free to write them down as well. So the first one: I easily choose thoughts that nourish me. Kindness begins with the way I speak to myself. I consciously do one thing at a time. I stay present and grounded in this moment. I create my new reality with my mind and my thoughts. I am the only thinker in my mind. It is my body and my mind, and I am in charge. As I continue to have peaceful thoughts, I am connected with like-minded, peaceful thinking people. I gently focus my mind upon the beautiful things in life. And my inner dialogue is kind and loving. So, what new affirmations are you taking into your daily life? Please feel free to share your affirmations in the chat. I'd love to see them. And whilst you're doing that, I'd like to just share with you, today we explored be kind to your mind, which is the 5th way to love yourself. And our next session will be Monday, the 20th of July, at the same time, 12:30. And like I say, these monthly sessions offer us a chance to slow down, reflect, really become present. And I hope you really enjoyed the little guided visualization. Deepen our practice of awareness, becoming aware of what is underlying. And by exploring one of these each month, we create that time and space for ourselves, which I think is really important. And we can implement this new awareness in our daily lives, which builds consistency and momentum in our practice, which I've found is really key in making positive change in your life. So awareness to what has come up is a treasure. Again, we don't need to judge ourselves for that. And you don't need to change anything overnight. The awareness is like the first gentle step. This isn't an aggressive teaching at all. And as you move through the rest of your day or week, you may notice other opportunities where you can become aware that you can be more kind to your mind. So thank you for showing up today and exploring where we can be kinder to our minds. And also remember, you don't have to remember everything from this session. Trust that whatever landed with you today, it was exactly what you needed to hear today. And plus there's the recording, so you can always listen again. And perhaps different treasures will pop up next time. So our next session is Monday, the 20th of July, which I've just talked about. As we talked before we started recording, I held a 2-day workshop last weekend, which was incredible. I call it the signature workshop because it's the 2-day workshop that everyone gets so much out of. They release so much, they realize so much, or bring awareness to so much. It's a really powerful 2 days that you can give to yourself. It was the 2-day course that changed my life. It meant that after the 2-day course, I realized I was going to be doing this for the rest of my life, teaching it and sharing it with others. So our last session was actually at the New Moon Mill in Eversley. The next dates for my next 2-day workshop are still to be confirmed. I'm looking for September and January. So I'll keep you posted on what's coming and when it's going to be released. And if you're on my newsletter, then you'll also be able to find out about it there as well. And then we've got the immersive journey as well. So this is great if you're not necessarily local in the UK. It's a 6-week program. It's weekly group coaching sessions via Zoom for an hour and a half on a Wednesday evening at 6:30 till 8 p.m. in the UK. And then in between, you have access to the online Heal Your Life Journey portal. And so you've got access to that for 6 months. And each week, so we'll come together for our group coaching session, and then you'll go off throughout the week, and you can do one of the modules a day in between our group coaching sessions. Then we'll come together the following Wednesday, share what came up, if anything, and then we'll do some guided reflection, and then we'll go into the next week. So it's a really good opportunity to share the journey with like-minded people, a bit like the 2-day workshop. The perfect group always comes together, which I really love. And it's that perfect hybrid of coming together and doing some work together, as well as doing some work independently on your own. So this workshop includes self-reflection exercises, guided visualizations, and again, positive affirmations to flood you with the words your soul has been waiting to remember. So that's everything. So I'd like to thank you for your time today. Thank you for showing up for yourselves, or thank you for tuning in. It's been really lovely to share this time with you. So I'd love to come back into the Zoom room now. So I'm going to stop the recording.